pay-to-play allegations lodged this week against Mayor Sylvester Turner. This latest volley from opponent Tony Buzbee, who says the city's Office of Business Opportunity steered tens of millions of dollars worth of municipal contracts to friends and political donors supporting the mayor. Among the alleged benefactors, Bobby Singh, Cindy Clifford, Tony Chase, and Thomas Jones, all wealthy business people and registered lobbyists, by the way, Buzbee says should not qualify as disadvantaged enterprises.
That's how the city does its business. There's no transparency, nobody follows the rules, and all the while Rome is burning, and we need to change it.
In response, city spokesman Alan Bernstein stated, quote, "There is no corruption in the City of Houston Office of Business Opportunity or any other function of city government," end quote. Wayne, do you take issue with that?
So, with Alan Bernstein, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Look, here's the problem. Affirmative action, and Mr. Busby's right about that. Affirmative action has been hijacked and perverted. If affirmative action was set up to help people who are disadvantaged, then millionaires, whether they be buddies with the mayor or his cousin or some stranger, shouldn't be in it anymore. 50% of minority firms in this city who are certified as minority business don't get a penny under this minority mayor, since we're always so concerned about people of color, okay? They don't get a penny, right? Because you could close your eyes on a city contract, everybody knows this, and you can almost guess who's going to be on it. It's the same people all the time. It's not what affirmative action was meant to be, and I'll even offend more people. I'm not so sure affirmative action is for every ethnicity in the world, right? African Americans and Hispanic Americans have legitimate complaints. I'm not sure Indian Americans who have multi-million-dollar engineering firms should qualify for affirmative action. There, I said it, okay? I mean, if we're going to get so, crazy about this, this is a system that is perverted. It needs to go to the people who deserve it.
Okay, Carmen, what's your take on this?
You know, politics in Houston is dirty right now. The pay to play is ridiculous. And I'll just dovetail this back on the flooding. I mean, we're still talking about where that flooding money went. But the reality is that this is a critical issue, and it does have to do with the pay to play in Houston. I'm glad we have watchdogs like Tony Buzbee who's telling us where the money's going, because we know it's not going to Houston. And the truth is we are about to go into hurricane season. And if we had a hurricane or tropical storm that was serious hit Houston right now, we're in no better position than we were with Harvey. And that's the biggest problem. And so is it a critical issue? Absolutely. Is the fact that all this money is going to all of Sylvester Turner's friends a big problem? Absolutely.
Charles Blaine, is this sticking with voters? There's been a lot of talk about pay to play on this program and on lots of newscasts and in the Houston Chronicle. Is it sticking?
I think so. How can it not? So, let's take a look at Alan Bernstein, who you mentioned. He definitively said a couple months ago that there was only one garbage truck in the city mixing recyclables and trash. And then what do we find out weeks later? That is 1,300 tons of garbage and recyclables mixed together. So I don't think people are trusting what's coming out of this administration. But then you look at people like Cindy Clifford, who you also mentioned, who is on the Harris County Houston Sports Authority, who lobbies the city, whose group, the Clifford Group, hosts fundraisers for city council candidates and mayoral candidates and things like that. So yeah, this is a huge issue, and I think people are starting to wake up to that and realize that. You know, I think Busby's doing a great job of highlighting these other issues. I think King and Boykins and Lovell are doing the same. There's a reason that Turner's getting challenged from the left, and it's part of it's because he wasn't progressive enough, but a lot of it is because of the corruption that these people have seen working with and for him. So I think this is going to stick. I think people are waking up to it, and as long as we keep stacking these issues and highlighting them, I think people are going to remember that come November.
Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, yeah, pay to play rhymes, but it's not sticking in the neighborhoods and the communities because it sounds like, one, millionaires behaving badly, and secondly, people have a bad perception of politicians anyway. They think this goes on anyway. I think if candidates and the mayor want to make this an issue, what they should do is they should get blacks, Latinos, and women who are in business, who want to emerge in this field, show them how to do it, tell them they can do it, and promise that that will happen. That would be a real way to engage this issue. Otherwise, it's an abstraction, and it just sounds like, again, millionaires behaving badly.
You know, the big complaint here is that those people aren't benefiting.
That's right.
If you're not paying into the political campaigns of the mayor, you are not, you're frozen out from these That's the complaint anyway.
It just sounds like political chess, because at the end of the day, you have another millionaire accusing those in power of that, but not telling us how he'll fix it. Really, what people hear, in my opinion, is they're going to say, you're just going to do it for your friends then. That's what they hear. So one way to address it is to show how you actually empower people.
Okay.